Hello everyone, my name is Almut Weigel and I'm here with Digital Hub Initiative from Germany, along with my two colleagues Esther Brax from one of our hubs, IntroTech Hub Munich, and Amadea Peli, one of our startups who are a member of the IntroTech Hub as well. So in the next hour, we'll be introducing ourselves, our initiative, and showcase you some of our most exciting startups that we brought to Latitude. And first of all, we will kick off with a little fireside chat on startup corporate partnerships, which is the main goal of Digital Hub Initiative. So at the moment, startups have really a big momentum. Conferences are getting bigger and bigger, and there's a lot of attention on startups. But unfortunately, startups are still quite underrepresented when it comes to partnering with the industry, especially with the SMEs. For example, according to a study by our German association Bitkom, in Germany only 24% of corporates and SMEs work together with startups. The reasons are manifold: cultural differences, too little time, and other reasons. With Digital Hub Initiative, our aim is to really strengthen these corporations and connect startups to SMEs and corporates. So let's start with the first question. So Esther, why are corporate startup partnerships so important?
They're so important because theoretically, corporates and startups are very complementary. I say theoretically because there are a couple of challenges that we're going to talk about later. But what corporates do have is clients, customers that startup can access. They have funds. They have experience in the industry that they can share. And they're lacking innovation culture. So oftentimes corporates don't have the permission or the processes to really try out new things. Now, if you look at startups, startups are typically always looking for funds, always looking for clients, looking for reach, looking to expand their reach. And they have a lot of innovation culture. They're free to do, free to try, free to create their products. So this is why there is really a great fit between corporates and startups, even with all the challenges that come within the process.
Very interesting. Amadea, where do you see mutual benefits from your point of view as a startup, but also from your experience working with corporates?
Sure, I can share a little bit about the startup perspective. So we started basically bootstrapping ourselves, working with corporates. We're also in the IntroTech Hub, and it worked out pretty well to get into larger corporations easily because there was some intermediator who helped out with that. Because otherwise, sales processes are very long, especially with large companies. And I think, I don't know if it's in Germany only, I think all over the place, companies that are very traditional, larger, older maybe, they are sometimes reluctant to work with startups because they didn't do it so often before. And the problem there is also that the longer the wait, then also they get less interesting for startups to work with because the processes will be just so outdated that even startups don't want to enter it. So I think it's always important to have a mindset and to have hubs that create and also educate the companies that this is a really good way to get innovation in and at a fairly good speed for a also fairly good price, I would say.
Okay. At what stage did you start cooperating with the industry, and what would you say is an ideal point of time?
Yeah, so for us it was, I would say, as soon as possible, as soon as we founded, we started collaborating with larger companies. We basically founded our company when we had the first contract, and we did the sales right after we basically had the idea and went out. And this is also, I think, important when you have an idea to do sales right away. There we also very profited from all the programs that created that bridge. Because at some companies we are still in the sales process, and that is like 1 year ago. So it can take really long time when you want to collaborate with large companies.
Yeah, and I wanna jump on that because I think it highly depends which industry you're in, what the risk appetite is of this industry. So looking at insurance, for example, insurers are by nature risk averse. I mean, that's the nature of their business. They only think about how to mitigate risk. So what we've experienced in the last, and we've been operating for 5 years, is that startups that are too early. Now with you it worked quite well, but it was more also mentoring and industry insights. If you want to do sales, you cannot approach an insurer and expect to do a huge number of sales if you're pre-product market fit. It's going to be very difficult because what you see on the other side is people that have KPIs that are measured internally, that don't have a failure culture. You know, they also want to bring in successful startups, and they need some kind of proof already that you've had some clients, that you had some product market fit. If you are an earlier stage startup, such as Lowy, for example, was at this time, and you're looking at, I need industry expertise, I want to find my product market fit, and I'm fine with only having, so to speak, mentoring conversations that might result in a sale, but not in a massive amount of sales. That's perfect, but you really need to know what you're getting yourself into. So the expectations need to be aligned, just because I oftentimes with our startups educate for the corporate side as well, where I said, look, they're asked by their managers, by their leaders, by their board members, did you bring results with those startups? And if you're too early, it's going to be very difficult to create this kind of results that they need to actually sign the contracts.
Okay. Maybe one thing to add there, a great way to do that is really piloting at the end, because it's really hard to, of course, scale in a large company super early. So I think for piloting and, aligning the expectations early on, as you probably do with, the accelerators programs, I think it's a really good opportunity, even when it's, pre-product market fit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Where do you see challenges? Maybe Esther, you first in getting all these players together, and how can accompanying programs help to overcome it?
Yeah, I think Amadea mentioned one of the most important ones already, which is really aligning expectations. What we see oftentimes is that, and really on both sides, I'm not protecting any of the sides here. What we see from the startup side is that some come into our program, say, the insurance industry, I see a use case, we can make a lot of money, it's so useful for the client experience, it's so useful for underwriting, etc. In theory, yes, but as a startup, be aware what you're getting yourself into, that it takes time, that even if in theory the use case makes sense, in practice there might be IT, there might be just simply people that don't want to do it. There might be regulation, etc., that comes your way. So just being aware of that, so you don't expect that you're going to sign a contract within like a month or two, but you're in for the long game. And same also from the corporate side, right? Expectations and also goal setting. That you don't only look at the startup and say, great, a startup's coming in, I'm getting some innovation in the company. It's not an innovation zoo, right? Like a startup has numbers to hit, they have funds that run out. So also be respectful of that time and align goals and expectations very early. I think that's one, and that's really already a big success factor. Did you talk about goals? Did you talk about what you realistically can achieve? And the second one is the process that follows. As a startup, you have different terms and conditions, for example, in your contract. As the corporate, they have entire departments sitting there scanning your contracts. They're not prepared to work with a company that does not bring like a track record of 100 other companies with them. So it's going to take them time, and they have to learn how to deal with that. They have to learn that they have to maybe adapt their processes to be a bit more flexible, to involve their legal teams to sign those contracts. So all those things, it seems a bit like nitty-gritty, but this is where we see most of the collaborations fail, because the goals are aligned, great, we have a vision, we have value to create here, great collaborations, and then at some point they don't make it through the process because they never had it before and did not realize that it simply takes time and effort.
Okay. Yeah. What challenges did you face, Amadea?
Yeah, I think one challenge is that sometimes large companies expect a very full solution already super early on. So sometimes as a startups you have some bugs, right? Some things are maybe not working perfectly, and I feel like the expectations, especially also from employees that are maybe not really working or haven't worked at a startup before, they really think of, we have now already a whole platform. And as we know, in general, in SaaS, it takes around 2 years to build a platform. So it's quite difficult to provide that, especially when you start collaborating early on in the pilot, for example. So I think that's definitely a challenge because there is, not that experience from employee side working with startups.
And maybe to add on to this, because you hit a very important point, which is people. And that's oftentimes overlooked by all the rage about the product fit, but the people need to fit. So on both sides, and at the corporate side, and you as a startup have to really ask yourself, who is it that is in front of you? Is that the person that can actually sign off the budget? Is that the person that can spend money on our collaboration? Is this the person that will bring in all the other players from the company that it takes to make a pilot or a proof of concept work? And if it's not, ask for the person that can do it, or also be courageous enough to stop the process because you're wasting your time. If that person cannot sign off budget or cannot advocate for you internally, you're going to get stuck. And similarly, on the startup side, be aware that the sales funnel, filling the sales funnel is one piece, but the delivery is the second piece. So we had a couple of startups that went through our programs, and now they're like, we don't know how to deliver all those POCs because we have so many leads, which is a luxury situation to be in, but also something that I think when you really go out into the industry, make sure that you can also deliver on the POCs that you promised.
How do you help fostering and creating these partnerships at InsurTech Hub in Munich?
Yeah. So what we do is that we run programs. I don't like to call them accelerated programs, actually, because I believe that founders can take care of their business themselves. There's plenty of great knowledge out there about how to build your business, who's your next hire, and all that. Where we really positioned ourselves in the program is exactly this business development process. So the programs are usually somewhere between 1 to 3 months long. They focus on either an industry that's important to insurance. That could be digital health, for example, or it focuses on a piece of the insurance value chain. So it could be insurance sales, it could be underwriting, it could be marketing. And then we go in, we talk to our partners, we understand what the challenges are. So the startups that come to us already have an understanding of what can I achieve here. And then we select startups and run with them through a program where we go very hands-on through the entire process. So we teach them how the procurement process looks internally of an insurance organization. We identify the right people for them. We identify the right board members to educate and advocate for the startups. We help them define the use cases. So everything really that you need in order to close your first sale. And this is also how we measure our success. We measure our success in how many contracts did we enable. So for us, the collaboration is really the signature under a contract. Before that, it's also great success. You have conversations, etc. But we've talked to the startups as well, and they said, what counts is that we have a client. So this is also ultimately what counts for us.
Sounds super helpful. Amadea, what has helped you to overcome the challenges you mentioned?
Well, actually, just do it. So we basically started super early collaborating with also insurance company through InsurTech Hub, and we had a no-code platform back then. It was based on Bubble.io, and it was sometimes slow and everything, but at the end we had really good learnings that we could, accelerate to the next step. And we also got some money in, so it was good to bootstrap ourselves also in the beginning.
And I think what you did very well during the program is that you've asked a lot of questions. So it was really about in-depth understanding, what is the use cases, what are the worries of an insurance, how does it work, etc. So that I think also benefited you in taking a lot of value out of the program.
Definitely, like keeping very close collaboration to the partners. I think that's the most important ones, and especially to the users.
Sounds very good. So let's talk a little bit about the international aspect of a Digital Hub initiative, because our initiative is also open for international startups. Just to give you an idea how Digital Hub initiative works, there are different digital hubs, each focusing on different industries. So these two ladies are both from InsurTech Hub Munich, but we have other sectors like logistics, IoT and fintech, smart systems, cybersecurity. So it's a pretty broad approach. So if there's someone here looking to enter the German market, Digital Hub Initiative would be a good first step to just get a better understanding of the German market and get connected with your industry peers and fitting corporates and SMEs. Maybe Esther, can you say a couple of words on how your international network in Munich works?
Yeah. Absolutely. So in our programs, we have actually the majority of startups are international. International meaning from really all over the world. We have a good coverage in the US, in Asia, all over Europe as well. And the way it works is we work with a lot of, for example, Latitude59. We work with other multipliers all over to scout startups internationally to the challenges that our corporate partners defined. And then for the international startups, one of our main goals is to really get a foothold into the German market. Meaning for them, you get a little bit of an additional kind of sneak peek. You have 3 months and you understand, is the German market something for you? Is the insurance market something for you? We also have, talking about international, we have a lot of international partners. So our members and partners out of the insurance and tech industry are largely German-based still, like I would say 70%, but throughout the last 2 years, we have added an Australian insurer, one from Israel, one from Canada. Japan is very well represented. So we really go international on both partner side as well as, of course, startup side, because ultimately it's about the best solution and not really where you're based or where your company is based.
Sounds great. So if you would like to hear more, we also have a booth in the hallway. Just come by. And now I would like to give the stage to our startups. Thank you very much for this chat. And I would like to hand over to Esther to moderate the pitches.
Thank you. I think Amadea can just stay.
I will stay.
Okay, now that you know a little bit about the Hub initiative, what we do, we want to present you the main players of the Hub, and the main players of the Hub are the startups, the stars of our different hubs. We brought you a great selection from all over Germany to all different topics and verticals. And I asked Amadea to just stay here because we're kicking off with her. And Louis, which brings behavioral science into the sales process.
Exactly.
Go for it, Amadea.
All right. Cool, yeah. Happy to kick off also to share a little bit what we do. So we are Loyi and we are based on the nudge concept. So maybe some of you heard about it before. My sister and co-founder, she actually worked with Richard Thaler, who was the inventor of that. And we said, we want to bring this into sales. And how we do that is we basically look at data in sales from CRMs, from sales tools. And based on that data, we see patterns of what are the behaviors that lead to closed ones, to successful behavior in sales, and then play this to each individual rep. And I don't know if you can click over the slides, because the clicker does not work. No, perfect, thank you. So the problem we are tackling is that in sales, people are actually just 28% of the time actually selling, and the rest of the time goes to manual tasks like filling up their pipeline, cleaning up their pipeline, data entry in Salesforce. And at this 28% of their time, they usually just do firefighting. They don't actually look at their data to see what are the best actions to take, what are the best deals to prioritize. And this is where we basically, basically come into play, because Loyi has an API to the main CRM systems like Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, and the sales tools like Gong, Outreach, and SalesLoft. And we look at those patterns, and the AI basically sees what are the behaviors and plays it back to reps. Next to that, we also help them basically eliminating those manual tasks they have. So with Loyi, they can update, for example, the CRM through Slack. And we are right now also a Slack-based solution, so we have a bot for Slack that basically gives you assistance in your sales process, but right now also developing our web app. The market is big, you all know, everybody has a sales team, especially now in the economic downturn, sales gets more and more important. And so far, we had really good traction with, as you already heard, we started with larger companies like Allianz, Siemens, Energy, and were bootstrapping with them a little bit in the beginning, but then moved actually to the US, to San Francisco, and focused more on mid-market because they have very, use many sales tools and many data islands at each of those sales tools, and could save 8 hours a day digging through data. Also with Siemens, for example, could help with customer orders by 15%. This is the team so far. So we have just right now finished almost our pre-seed round, are growing our team, around 10 people now. And as I said, basically in Munich, but also having our seat in San Francisco. Thank you so much. And I think now the next startup comes on stage. Happy also to connect if you have questions.
Great, thank you, Amadea. So thanks for kicking off the pitches. Next up is a completely different topic, coming from the Media Hub in Potsdam. If you've ever wondered what happens to shows, why they look so great and professional, it's mostly post-production magic. And Leo will present you what happens there, but also how to better manage post-production resources. Leo, stage is yours.
Hello, my name is Leonardo Reh, and I used to work as a line producer in film and TV. And what that means is I manage budgets, I manage people, and I also manage the post-production. So after you've captured any material, you need to edit it, you need to make the sound, the music, the colors, etc. And that was always a bit messy. The reason was that we didn't have a clear overview over what was happening when, which project was going on when. And I was always wondering why, in a way, and asked the post-production department. And the reason is very simple. That's how we plan. So we have the most modern technology in terms of capturing images, but for planning our production, we use mostly Excel spreadsheets. 80% of the companies use Excel to organize their in-house resources, or we have software that is more than 20 years old and looks even more dated. And that creates a lot of friction in the company. It creates frustration for staff, which is a problem if we have a staff shortage, as we have now. It creates a lot of wasted time because people keep on calling each other to know what the status of a project is, when it's happening, where, etc. And all of that equates to a lot of lost money that is, lost in talks and phone calls instead of going into projects. And of course, if you don't have a clear overview over things, then you have the risk of having late deliveries. And if you have late deliveries, that usually incurs fees. It's a massive problem that costs you money every day. So we created a solution for that. It's an online resource planner, basically. It's really easy to use. It's made for creative people, so everyone can just go on board. We don't need any onboarding time. You just instantly understand how it works. It works on every device. You always have an overview, and you always know where your project's at. And we sell that as B2B SaaS to any production company that has at least 3 rooms for post-production, because we noticed that that's kind of when the chaos begins. When I talk about we and us, that's me. As I said, I was a line producer. I did a few bigger things for Netflix. And my co-founder, Alex, is a Microsoft certified professional and has been a lead developer for quite a long time now. Together we want to bring a better solution to the market and become market leaders, replace Excel everywhere, and help companies use the potential they have in-house and don't waste any money, basically. So we have a bit of traction. We are only 1 year old now. We have our first contract with Bildergarten Entertainment. They produce shows like The Voice of Germany and also the Eurovision Song Contest in Germany. And all of that is being produced with Freispace. And we have another contract in the making with Storyhouse Productions. So we are starting to get our sales. And we're now raising pre-seed to actually accelerate sales, to build a sales team, and to hire a few developers to actually build a product on further. So thank you very much. And if there's any investors in here, please get in touch. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Leo. Okay, I promised you a lot of different topics, so keep your mind flexible because we're going to jump from the Media Hub in Potsdam to the IoT Hub in Berlin. And next up is Katja from Weave, who are democratizing IoT data. There's a lot of IoT data being generated, but the question is how to use it and who can use it, and Katja has the answer. Stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Esther. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here and tell you today a little bit more how we want to change the usage of IoT data. We are Weave, we are based in Berlin, and mentioned this year before our market entry as one of the top 100 edge computing companies, and we were really proud of that. So the problems, I think everyone here knows the problems. There are a lot of machines, devices, sensors, but how to get the data out of these machines and hardware. So only specialists are able to do this right now. And you need consultants, systems integrator. It's always big projects. We want to change that. We want to make it lean. We want to make it easy, fast, and of course, reducing costs for that. How we are doing this? We developed a no-code platform. So now you can see it looks, for example, a little bit like Miro. You can, per drag and drop, now build your own data flow. We have input modules, we have processing modules, we have output modules, and with all these modules you are able now to build your own process, because there is no standard in all these industries when you want to connect devices and machines. You need different models with different protocols, and this is our future-proof way, because if there is a new protocol, then we're developing a new module. So you can see it's really, really easy. You make your account and you can start right away when you have the knowledge, of course, about your machines and about your sensors. But this is what the most companies know. They can't code, but they know their machines. So we have a business model for our data specialists in the companies. It's really when you want to have an easy entrance, then you pay $999. It's a B2B SaaS subscription model. I think everyone here is familiar with that. And of course, this machine and sensor-based market is really, really big. We're talking here worldwide. We know every machine is going now to be smart and intelligent, and so the market is growing really, really fast. But we want that everyone can take a part on this, that everyone is able to get the data out of these machines and sensors. And this is what we want to do with our no-code tool. So this is the team who is making this happen. And we are based in the venture builder Next Big Thing. I invite you to see come there because there are a lot of interesting startups working in IoT. And and this team will rock now the democratization and orchestration of IoT data. So, of course, we're looking for investors, so please contact me. Because we right now going into the market, we need to push into the market with a great sales and marketing team, need a financing round for this, so please contact me, and so we can make this happen together. Thank you so much, and it was really, really nice to be here at Latitude.
Thank you, Katja, and your IoT data solution. Okay, we're traveling all over Germany with you virtually here, so now we're moving a little bit south to the Digital Health and Chemistry Hub in Mannheim, Ludwigshafen, right? Okay, great. And we're presenting a topic that we've talked about a little bit before, B2B sales. And Foxbase and René are promising to accelerate B2B sales, so we're all very curious on how you're going to do that.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. So I'm René, I'm from Foxbase. We are part of the South German sector of Mannheim, but actually we are based in Düsseldorf, so don't be confused. Foxbase, we are aiming to try to digitalize the B2B sales in every sector and every industry, because At the moment, we are still living in a kind of old world where you think about B2B sales. Their B2B sales manager traveling all across the landscapes, trying to sell their stuff on fairs directly to customers, and have huge marketing teams and product catalogs and all that stuff that is really not any kind of digital environment and product. On the other hand side, we have huge companies that are way more digital and have also way more digital approach to buy things and services. So this doesn't really fit in any kind of way. So there's a clash between the old world style to sell things and the new world style to sell things. So what does Foxbase then do to find a solution for this problem? We have developed the digital product selector, a software based on our software as a service company that has three main components: how to get the customer in the B2B world a better customer journey to find the right product in a very short and a very easy way. These three main sections are selection, configuration, and calculation. Our software is implemented in the website of the specific company, and therefore, through these different processes, the customer can find a very fast and easy way, in his and her manner, the right product, and doesn't need to search into long product catalogs, download a PDF, then search somewhere else, then call them, then write an email. All this process streamlined and made very easy for our software. So what is this software, this magical thing about? The software is a toolbox that is customized with different standards and has basically a setup need analysis as a main character to find through different questions the right product from A to Z. Therefore, we're measuring success on the way. We have a recommendation logic in the back that helps to guide through the different processes, and also we integrate any kind of product data. If it evolves from an Excel spreadsheet, if it's from an ERP system, CRM system, we don't care, our software don't care, to integrate this product data within the software. One of the main features in all things, we're talking about big data, we heard it before from other startups, is that we measure along this process the performance of the questions, of the doing of the customer, and also how the products are received within this way, within this process. So we get performance data on how to do what. Why doing so? Because we increase, therefore, the efficiency in marketing and sales by up to 30%, by increasing the number of qualified leads, by significant reduction of lead time, by shortening the sales cycles up to 90%, and also connecting shops and other systems. So why Foxbase? Because we have low scalability, low TCO, short time to market, in 8 weeks from nothing to functioning software, we are there. And of course, we are GDPR confirmed and have a KPI basis. So why trust Foxbase? Because also these bigger and smaller companies trusting Foxbase, from building materials over telecommunication to anything else, trainings and so on and so forth, is flexible, usable within our software. So thank you for your attention, thank you for your time, and if you have more questions, then get to our stand at the GTIE and then ask for me. Thank you.
Great, thanks a lot, René. Next up, we're moving on to the Cyber Hub in Darmstadt with a topic that is very hot right now, at least for the insurance industry. That's why I want to introduce Niels not only as a Cyber Hub in Darmstadt, but also potential future InsurTech Hub. Niels, come on stage, join us here for your solution on how you mitigate risk for cyber resilience. I cannot see Niels anywhere. Still in a meeting. Niels, we're calling for you. Okay. Come on up and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Hello everyone. I'm Niels, I'm from Mitigant, and our startup's coming out of the experience of research from the Hasse-Plattner-Institute in Potsdam in Germany. And we help with Mitigant to build more resilient and secure clouds. So, but why? Well, as you might know, there's a lot of cyber attacks going on at the moment. And a lot of these cyber attacks against public cloud infrastructure are possible because of human errors and misconfigurations. Yeah? Why is that? Well, if you rent public infrastructure from AWS, Azure, Google, or whatever, you build it, you maintain it, and you also have to secure it. And with the last part, we are actually helping. So, well, a lot of these misconfiguration lead to loss of money, yeah, and also the attack. Also serious incidents. Yeah, you might have heard of the ransomware attack. Yeah, within the cloud space, it's much more common now, and it's also rising there. So, I already said that we are helping with that. We have a system, mitigant. It's connected via API. It just takes 15 minutes, and with the detect, secure, and verify, we basically detect and secure is scanning your infrastructure and showing you how to improve it. And the verify component has a possibility to attack your infrastructure. What does it mean? We can basically execute a ransomware attack, a simulated ransomware attack against your infrastructure and show you how secure you are. Okay, this is us. We're a team of researchers and experts, and we're raising. Please come to the German booth and raise your questions there. We are exhibiting today. Thank you very much.
Okay, and we're jumping from cybersecurity to yet again another topic. From the FinTech Hub in Frankfurt, I want to present you Peter, that has come up with an alternative funding solution. So Peter, come on up on stage and tell us more about it.
Great, thank you very much. Hi everyone, Peter Gruev, pleasure to meet everyone. I'm here to show you a little bit about Topline. And what we effectively do is we're a fintech startup, but we're also an investor. So as I like to say, we swing both ways. We're a predictive, intelligent finance platform for SaaS companies. For about 12 years, I was on the dark side, working across varied investment banks in Chicago, New York. Lastly, at Merrill Lynch, I managed about 700 million in mortgage credit for structured institutional fixed income investors. And sort of the one good thing that came out of it is understanding how institutional fund investors come and chase fixed income product at 4, 5, 6% returns, and they're ready to deploy hundreds of millions of dollars in well-structured credit. Ever since, I wanted to be able to mobilize fixed income-like liquidity in the billions and bring this to the technology startup ecosystem in Europe. And we've been working on this project for about 18 months now. We put together a team. The 3 co-founders amongst us have over 40 years experience in investments, finance, product development, technology. So we're very excited to be able to build this solution out of Germany and gradually expand and address the CE markets as well. What is the main point we're addressing here? I spent about 3.5 years building a venture builder and early stage VC for Africa. We were not very successful raising a 10, 20 million impact fund, but in having worked with 30, 35 startups, the biggest pain point I discovered is startups out there are chasing fundraising for 6, 9 months at a time before they close 150, 200K equity round. In Europe, a little bit shorter time frame, but similar. The big point is, it takes 3 to 4 months to close an equity round. Oftentimes, it's dilutive for the founders. This is basically how we wanted to approach the market. How does Topline solve this? Well, instead of waiting 3 months, we want to be able to put money in the bank, in your bank, in 48 hours. How do we do this? We use technology. We link a bunch of APIs into your bank accounts using open banking providers. We use subscription software APIs and link into Stripe, PayPal, Chargebase, and along with your financial accounting software API, we basically build an internal credit score, proprietary risk models that are very quickly able to evaluate your credit and decide. Our credit engine in the back end can very quickly give you a 1-year credit based on subscription, the subscription performance of your SaaS business model. So we address SaaS companies. For example, on every 100,000 euro of SaaS revenue, Our credit model approves you quickly for a 50% sale ratio, and you can come in and trade 50,000 liquidity on a monthly basis with us. It's a standardized one-year tool that allows us to scale, and this is how we penetrate the market very quickly. And we are operating out of an institutional facility. We locked in a 30 million funding with a UK debt provider. Couple of snapshots here. Obviously, we have a trading environment that's available to you, to your CFO, to manage your cash flows and request liquidity on an ad hoc basis. It complements really well equity fundraisers. Obviously, we're non-dilutive. You can raise $1 million equity from a seed VC investor. You can come in. Our credit model approves you for 250,000 credit limit, and you can trade as you request. Business traction to date, again, secured 30 million debt facility, out of which we deploy into varied SaaS startups across Germany and CE. We closed a $1.7 million equity round as we participate in our investments as a co-investor. And effectively, we launched in Germany in February 1st. Today, we've deployed with 12 different clients, just over $500,000. Average ticket size is about 50,000. However, as we deploy further, we're targeting to close to come close to 200,000 average ticket sizes with younger companies. We have over 36 clients today, and one metric we measure is onboarded connected ARR with over 25 million of data points that now gives us the ability to model our credits and build a machine learning tool to effectively target a self-learning mechanism on a go forward. Right now we operate in Germany, in Poland and Czech Republic. We've done one trade in Estonia, and we look forward to be able to enter the market here towards end of June or probably July. But generally we have a DACH and CE mandate, as some of our venture investors are obviously targeting those regions. We're the only SaaS finance operator. There's some e-commerce lenders that operate in West Europe, but effectively we're the only one addressing the SaaS market as a SaaS finance expert, and we basically want to bring $1 billion liquidity to this marketplace. Again, if you're a SaaS company and looking for financing, chat with us. Also for any investors, we're close to closing a 3 million seed round towards the summer to allow us to deploy another 20 million into varied SaaS companies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. And I love how you turned it around, that finally somebody not looking for funding but offering funding as well. Thank you for that. We're moving on from fintech back to digital health with SCS Telemedical and Magda, who's changing the way that healthcare is delivered to the chronically ill. So Magda, please join me on stage.
Hi, guys. Really happy to meet you, and for the next couple of minutes, I would like to engage in healthcare with you. So my name is Magda. I founded this company 3 years ago, and what we're currently seeing in Europe is we have one big problem. Our population is getting older and older, and this is a worldwide problem that we're facing. And people have chronic illnesses, and they need care. And one of the major things that we also saw with COVID was medical staff is overworked, is getting less. It's maybe not even the most favorable job that you want to take up. And it's a very, very important job because it leads to a big, big issue that we have time-critical interventions with patients that happen way too late, or they don't happen at all, leading to mortality of patients or leading to big, big economical problems that we have in the healthcare system due to the reason that these patients need much more treatment than previously anticipated. So what do we do in this case? What we do is we enable physicians to treat a lot more patients than they think is actually possible. And by doing this, we actually improve the care that the patients are receiving. On the other hand, for the patients, the benefits are obvious. I mean, which patients wouldn't want their doctor, their physician, to get in touch with them more promptly, quicker, and faster, and also have the peace of mind in your home environment that you can basically wait for your physician to call you, and they only call you when you actually need care and interventions. So how do we do this? So what we offer is we have a platform, and this platform consolidates workflows, rules engines, and devices together, and this comes up into an AI-based patient care program. This patient care program enables patients to communicate much, much faster with their physicians, but it also enables physicians to get care and provide care on a much faster level. So how does this work in detail? When we look at it in detail, what we do is we provide patients with an app and devices. Devices can be anything between a scale, a BPM monitor, ECG device, and our patients receive an app that is provided through us directly. They measure their vital parameters on a daily basis. This is very important. So there is a certain amount of compliance needed on the patient side. Once we get those vital parameters, we analyze them directly through our algorithms. In case that there are deviations, an alert is triggered, and this alert is validated through our network of medical experts that access our platform worldwide. So to give you an example, currently we're working together with cardiologists in Bulgaria, and they're accessing the medical data on a daily basis. If they have validated findings, we send this data back to the primary care physician, and the primary care physician can intervene with the patient. So where are we actually tackling? We're a German-based company. You're here today to meet the Germans, so I'm the German. But we're aiming at a European market. And our first market that we tap into specifically is the cardiovascular market because, I mean, this is very bold now, 50% of our population has some kind of cardiovascular problem, and this can result in cardiovascular disease. If we bring it to a more realistic aspect, we're looking at 6 million new ICD cases in Europe with cardiovascular disease. And this means there's a huge potential for us to tackle. When we look at our revenue model, how do we want to do this? We want to keep it as simple as possible, and we offer a full subscription model with a service fee per patient for the physician. So this is a B2B model. On the B2C level, we also try to tackle the market by offering validated extra services to the patients. For example, by increase of weight, dietitians. If a patient needs to do more sport, we can offer physical exercise. And the third part is working together with pharmaceutical companies to extract the data and use this data effectively for medication. So like I said, currently we're working in Germany. We have super cool partners that we're working with in Germany. We can scale up in Europe easily, even worldwide. We would love to do so. Currently, we're serving 750 plus patients till the year's end. And now you get why I'm here. We were looking at 6 million patients. So I would be very glad if we could scale up together with you and make this possible, because we really believe this has a social impact, but also brings a lot of fun in the future for digital health. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Magda, and thanks a lot for your passion on this topic. We're staying in the digital health sphere with another solution from the second digital health hub in Germany, Nürnberg-Erlangen. I'd like to have Fredrik join me on stage from Acalta that are building digital health apps to change and transform patient journeys. Fredrik, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. So, hello everyone, I'm Fredrik. I'm a medical doctor and I'm the co-founder of Acalta. And you maybe think, why tackle digital health market in Germany? Because it's hard, it's slow, but it's also really rewarding since there's still so much to be done there. Because in so many interviews with residents, with physicians, I ask, what's your main problem right now? And they all tell me, all right, you see, I don't want to work 60 hours a week anymore. I don't have the workforce, the staff to do all the work. And I really need some kind of tool to unburden me. And that really is the main point. We have so many patients right now. We have kinda big workforce, but the staff just isn't enough. The processes are so slow and paper-based that we really need to do something. And that's where we come in. We try, and we do, Sorry. We streamline care paths. With standardized care paths, we can either tell the patient, all right, this is where you're at, this is where you will be, and this is what's to be done. And on the other hand, we can show the medical team, where's your patient right now? Does he need help? Does he not need help? And do I have to prioritize on any patient? So we can organize, we can enhance availability of resources, and we can unburden the medical team. We calculated for a path of an outpatient surgery, and we divide the time that is needed for administrative and medical procedures to around 42%, which is a lot less time that is needed for one patient. And if you have 100 patients, that's a lot of time you can actually save, and a lot of patients you can treat better, and the numbers speak for themselves. We are now in 5 years of R&D on our project and on our platform. So our main goal is data privacy. It's a really big topic in Germany. I don't know if in the whole of the rest of the world as well, but Germany, GDPR, it's like the Holy Grail. And currently, we are improving our platform. So we recently added appointments, asset management, and so on, and looking forward to even improve it further. Our team mainly consists of medical doctors, so we have 4 medical doctors in a team of 8 people. The rest is software engineers, nurses, and project managers. Yeah, that was my talk. Thank you a lot. I'm really happy to connect. We are currently looking for an investment. Our seed round is still open. Happy to connect. Come over to the booth in the afternoon. We will be there full time. So see you guys. Thank you all.
Amazing. Thank you, Frederick. And then last but not least, another new topic. I would love to have Madeleine on stage from Raketenstart, who is helping to set up the legal framework structures for SMEs and definitely making legal tech the new thing.
Thank you so much.
Yours.
Thank you so much for being here. Hi, I'm Madeleine, and I am a lawyer. I know that's the worst way you could possibly open a conversation because nobody wants to talk to you, but hear me out. We are working on this, and we will be changing the legal industry for the next years and forever. Because the problem about legal is that you normally have like a negative feeling about thinking about lawyers and bills and stuff. But now technology comes in, and we've been working on this for the last couple of years. Especially now that AI comes in, we can transform how we think legal completely. And this is exactly what we are doing with Raketenstart, which means rocket launch in German. So now you already learned a little bit of German. And I'm telling you more about what we're doing right now. Raketenstart is a platform where we are giving SMEs the superpowers to DIY their legal work with the help of artificial intelligence. Did you know that 1 out of 3 businesses has no access to legal advice at all, even if they have a legal problem? Why is that? Most of them cannot afford legal advice because it's really expensive, it's really inefficient because you have to wait sometimes weeks to get the advice you need, but as like a business owner, you need to make decisions directly. At the same time, you don't really know what you need to take care of. But what you probably don't know is that even lawyers don't really want to work with you for the most of your questions because it's not economically worthwhile. So we're not only solving a problem for the business owner who doesn't want to pay a lot of money for legal, but we're also solving a problem for legal advisors who don't want to work with you for 80% of your questions because it's just not as complex that they would want to. So what do? We make legal easy by building a digital legal brain for your business, which is trained by data and which is analyzing all your legal company's data the whole time. So how does it work? This is like the model where you can see as a company, you just fill out your company profile or get in your legal question. Our legal angel will analyze what kind of problem you have and what kind of solution fits to your question and provide you with the right solution directly in our platform. We've built the platform with 3 core parts that are necessary to solve all of the legal questions you would have. The first one is we have a really big knowledge base which contains of contents, checklists, and e-learnings, where you can get the answer for most of the legal questions that every business owner might have. At the same time, we provide you with a complex knowledge base of templates where you can generate contracts yourself, being guided by us with explanations through every clause, so you are able to generate the contract on your own. And at the same time, for the 20% who really need individual advice from an expert, we can connect you with a qualified lawyer with whom we negotiated the terms already, and we also automated their processes, so you have like a more cost-efficient work with the lawyer. Our business model is a SaaS-enabled marketplace, so we have different packages depending on the growth of your company to provide you with everything on content-wise you need. And at the same time, lawyers share revenue with us for everything they made through our platform. We are disrupting a huge market and take the legwork out of legal. So we're starting in Germany, where SMEs are more than 99% of all the companies in the whole country. And based on their revenue, we analyzed that they spend like more than 3 billion on legal work. So this is also what we can make in Germany. But as you all know, Europe is really huge, so we can still go into the whole Europe sector. Only Raketenstart is the solution that solves all major challenges, because just providing you with a template is not going to solve the other questions you have and not solving the problem that you don't know which lawyer to go to. And the legal tech market will be growing in the next years hugely, so we have the right timing to do so. We know legal and tech. As I already said, I'm a lawyer, but I'm also a developer. And together with my team, we are backed by industry experts, angels, who are notaries, lawyers, general counsels, and also business owners, who also know the pain from itself and will rethink the legal industry together with us. The tech stack of SMEs has changed, and legal will be the next with us. We are raising 1.5 million to invest in the growth of our company and already achieved more than 650 businesses on our platform organically. So let's scale together. Happy to talk to you later.
Okay, thank you very much, Madeleine, ending it really with a bang. And thank you very much to all of you that listened, that watched what the DE Hub ecosystems have to offer in terms of startups. We encourage you all to continue the conversations with us, with the startups that presented here today. We have a booth just right over there. We have great coffee, so feel free to drop by and continue the conversation. Thank you very much.